A lot of people want to buy their first investment property but don't have enough money saved up. What if I told you can still buy a home even if you're dead broke? Well, you can. I've bought my last few homes with none of my own money. And in this video, I'm going to teach you exactly how I did that so that you can do it too. If you're new to the channel, my name's Justin Yaron. I'm a real estate investor and entrepreneur here in Las Vegas, and I've made hundreds of videos teaching people about real estate, money, and self-development. And the goal of this channel is to help you grow your money and your mindset. But here's my secret. It's not that I buy homes with no money at all. It's just that I use other people's money. I use private money to fund my real estate deals now. And if you're unfamiliar, all private money really is money from an individual. So it's not getting a loan from something like a bank or an institution. It's seeking out money from an individual, like a rich uncle of yours or a friend or someone you know who has money that they want to invest. These private money lenders are a lot different than raising money from banks and getting loans. When you get a loan from a bank to buy a property, that bank is going to ask you a lot of questions. They might want to know what your income is, what your credit score is, what your W-2s look like. They're going to want to know a lot of things. Whereas if you raise money from an individual, like a family friend, they're typically not going to be asking about that stuff. A lot of their lending criteria just depends on if they can trust you or not. Now that you know what private money is, here's when you should actually seek it. A lot of newer investors are focused on different things when they're just getting started. Sometimes people want to figure out their buyer's list if they're trying to wholesale. Sometimes people are trying to figure out their private money lenders or their lending at first when they're trying to first buy a home. And in reality, all you need to do when you're just starting out is to find a good deal first. If you find a good deal, everything else will come. The money will come. The end buyer will come if you're going to wholesale. Everything else will come if you find a good deal. When I was a new investor, I was focused on all the wrong things at first, not just finding the deal like I should have been. I was focused on finding the buyers for my buyers list if I wanted to wholesale something. I was focused on finding private money lenders. I was focused on creating my LLC. I was focused on all the wrong things that I should not have been so worried about. And if I had just focused on finding the deal first, I would have been in a much better position today than I am. Now let's say that you actually find a deal and you're looking for a private money lender to fund that deal because you're dead broke, you have no money in your bank, and you need money for the deal. Anytime you have a conversation with a potential private money lender, you need to be able to address two main questions. The first question that you're going to need to address is, why should I trust you? That's the first question that you're going to need to be able to address when you speak to a potential private money lender. That person is going to be thinking, why should I invest with you when there is no shortage of people asking me for money? Just remember, this is all about building trust. So for me, when I speak to a potential private money lender, I can go to them now and say something like, look, I've done over 10 deals now. All my private money lenders have been paid in full of what we agreed on. And I teach so many people about how to do this. I've literally made over 100 videos teaching people how to invest in real estate. So for me, that's one way that I can establish my authority and build upon the trust, because they are now seeing me as someone who knows what they're doing and as someone who does what he's gonna say he's gonna do. But if you're watching this and you're thinking, I don't really have those things yet, I don't have a track record, how do I build trust? When it comes to building trust, it comes down to a few things. Number one, you need strong communication skills. You need to be able to tell them what you plan to do with their money, when they're gonna get their money back, and to be able to address all their objections. So if you're not comfortable about asking for money, then you have to get comfortable asking, whether it's you just practicing and role-playing with yourself, having these conversations with you acting like a private money lender and just yourself, or you actually talking to other family members or people that you trust, kind of practice these conversations. But you need to be able to clearly communicate these ideas. Number two, building trust has a lot to do with your reputation and your personal brand. When it comes to personal brand, everyone has a personal brand, whether you are aware of it or not. Because when people think of you and think of your name, they're gonna think of something, and whether or not that something is good or bad, that's on you. And if you want to build a good personal brand for yourself and a good reputation, you need to start posting on social media. Social media isn't just this thing for young people to look at and to consume. It's for everyone. You need to be using your social media as a platform for your image and your own personal brand. Now, I don't really care what you're posting about, but it has to be good and positive things. Like if you're posting that every single night you're out with your friends drinking late and smoking weed and doing all these different different things, everyone has their own thing. But if you're blasting that kind of stuff out on social media and then you're asking other people for money, what do you think those people are gonna think of you when they see your social media? They're probably gonna think that you're not the right person for them to invest their money with. So post positive things, and if you're gonna be raising private money from individuals for your real estate deals, I would highly encourage you to share your real estate journey on social media. Now, I don't care if you're brand new and you've never done a deal yet, but share what you can. Odds are, if you're actually looking for your first deal, you have stuff to share. You might be walking through homes, you might be making offers every day, you might be cold calling every day, you might be sending out mail every day. You're doing something, or at least you should be if you're looking for your first deal. So whatever you're doing, post it on social media so that people know that you're taking your real estate stuff seriously. You want to share anything you possibly can to establish yourself as some type of authority in real estate in your community. You can even use simple things like being in a coaching program like I'm in Future Flipper. If you show the world that you're in a coaching program specifically to become a great real estate investor, people will automatically see that you're taking this really seriously and that you now have a mentor who's doing some great things. So leverage anything you possibly can to establish yourself as some type of an authority. The other main question that a private money lender is going to ask you is, what can you do for me? And that question really is twofold. They want to know, one, how do I know my money is secure? And if you're trying to address this question, all you really need to tell them is that their loan is going to be secured by the property. So if you as the investor ends up not performing for whatever reason, that private money lender can foreclose on the home. So if you as the investor does not perform for whatever reason, that private money lender essentially can take the home from you, foreclose on you, and they end up with a property at a really good discount. So that's worst case scenario, they end up with a home at a really good discount. Worst case scenario. This is very different than investing in the stock market or in crypto, because if you invest in the stock market or crypto or something else, your money can just go straight to zero. You can actually lose all of your money investing in those ways. Whereas if a private money lender were to invest their money with you on a deal, if you were to ever not pay them back or do anything weird, they can just take the home at a really good discount. The other question that a private money lender is going to be thinking of is, what kind of return will I get? And how I address that question is I just try to figure out what that potential private money lender even wants. Every person is different. Some people want a strict percent return on their money. Some people want an equity split and they're okay with taking that risk. Some people want returns on their money, but they don't want the interest until the very end. Some want monthly interest payments. Everyone wants something different. And so I usually ask them, like, what do you want? Some people want the equity split. Some people want percent returns. And it's up to you as the investor to gauge with what you're comfortable in accepting. What I will say though is that if you're brand new, in my opinion, it is always better to split a deal than do no deal at all. So at the beginning, don't be too greedy. I would much rather split an entire watermelon with someone else than have an entire grape for myself. Also, if you want to grow your real estate business, whether you're brand new or if you already have deals under your belt, DM me the word coach on Instagram at JustinYou'reWrong. I'll see you at the next one.